Hey friend, welcome to On the Daily. I'm your host, Danielle McCleary, and I am a quantum business coach. I'm the host of this podcast. I'm a multi-six-figure entrepreneur, co-founder and president of HypeU Media, and CEO of Danielle on the Daily Coaching. What I'm really interested in is helping you live a life and have a business that is a full body yes. So through all of my education and all of my experience, I'm bringing you 2 episodes a week where I will guide you and give you the tools necessary to scale a massive, sustainable, and sexy business using your intuition, wealth energetics, and human design. What we can call it is business biohacking. So if you're down for that, then I say let's frickin' go. I'm so glad you're here. Hello and welcome back to On the Daily. I am so pumped because I have a new masterclass coming out. Creating content that sells. That's the name of it. That's what we're doing. Super simple, more strategic than anything else. I know a lot of the trainings I do are very, very, very heavy on energetics, which I love and I'll never stop doing. But I've been having a lot of conversations with clients lately that were like, very much based around strategy for content. And if there is one thing that I have mastered, it is how to sell through my content. And so the masterclass is called Creating Content That Sells. I'm going to teach you how to do it. I'm going to teach you what I do. I'm going to literally show you examples of how I have created content in the past, my strategy for it, what I create in order to sell which products. I'm going to teach it all to you in this masterclass. If you're in the society, you already get access to it, baby. So don't worry about anything. It's going to come to you. If you're not in the society, you can still be a part of the society, which gives you access to all past masterclasses, all current ones, and all future ones that I do. And you can literally be a part of that for $77 a month. It is unreal at how affordable it is. And it makes so much sense. If you're not in the society and you don't want to be, but you would like to be a part of this masterclass, you can click the link in our show notes to register for that. All the details are coming soon. And don't worry about it will be done live, but don't worry about if you can't make it live. Like that is the weirdest excuse I hear when people are like, oh, I'm not going to join because I can't be live. Masterclasses, there's no Q&A or anything like that. It's literally just a training. And so it doesn't matter if you can be on live or not, you're going to get the recording and you're going to have access to that forever. So it doesn't matter if you can't be on live. If creating content that leads to sales is something that you feel like you struggle with and you're kind of like you hit a brick wall doing it, then you need to be in this masterclass. And so you can register for that by going to the link in my show notes, or you can come to my Instagram at Danielle_on-the-daily. And you can slide into my DMs and, ask me any questions that you have about it. But that will be happening in the next couple weeks. And I'm so excited about it. And I hope that we see you in there. Okay. So today I wanted to share with you, this will be a real quick episode, but I have a private client who, her and I were talking last week, and she'll actually be on this show soon. So you'll get to hear, but she is officially launching her first big program. And it's such a big deal and it's going to sell out. I just know it. Her growth and her transformation has been so freaking epic. And one of the things that she said to me was I just really want to create a brand video that is like The Reckoning. And I don't know if you remember The Reckoning that I did, and we released this really sick brand video, and it was just so powerful and so cool. And the music was so perfect. And she's like, I just don't think that I don't have the money to hire a production team like you do to create these beautiful, these beautiful brand videos. And I was drinking water at the time and I literally almost spit out my water because I was like, oh girl, if only you knew. Y'all, I don't have an in-house production team. I have an in-house production team for my podcast, but I don't have a production team for my photo shoots. Every once in a while, if my best friend Kelly is in town, I will have her shoot some photos of me. But for the most part, my content is 100% shot by me or by Breezy. And it is done with an iPhone. And that is how The Reckoning video, if you remember the video for The Reckoning, if you don't remember it, you can always go to my Instagram and scroll down to December-ish and you'll see the brand video for it. But it was this really epic thing we did where the video like zoomed in on me and I twirled around a little bit and then I walked away from the camera and it like flickered in and out. It had really cool music. It went from black and white to color. It was so sick. The reality of that shoot was the following. I had to rush to this parking garage because I had to pick Breezy up from work. She was training, she coaches volleyball. And so I was picking her up from a practice, and Owen was being an absolute monster because he was tired from being at school all day. I had no makeup on. I literally changed into that outfit in the back of my car, which was not clean, by the way. Though it was so windy on top of that parking garage, I was so pissed. I did not want to shoot this content at all. But I knew that I wanted to release and start to launch this program. So it made sense to do it. And we literally shot like 4 different videos, just iPhone, her walking toward me, spinning around, me walking away from the camera. That was it. And then the magic happened when I edited it. And so what I wanted to share with you are 3 things that I think you absolutely need if you're going to start to create content that's going to convert to sales in your business. Because to this day, The Reckoning is one of my highest selling programs. I have more people that have joined The Reckoning than any other product I've put out. And it makes sense because it's probably one of the best signature programs I have, and it's definitely, I think, one of the most important programs. And by the way, it's always available. You can always purchase it. It's evergreen now, meaning it's self-led. You can watch it and rewatch it, and it's super freaking epic. You can always purchase that on my website, or you can click the link in our show notes. We've included a link there if you are interested in taking The Reckoning. But this course was all about personal power. This course was all about like leadership and leading yourself and coming home to yourself and stepping into that more elevated, richer version of you. And everybody wants that right now, but so many people like have no idea how to get there. And so this program really like nailed home like how to make that happen. And it's just one of my favorites. But this brand shoot we did was so last minute, and it was so silly that my client was like, it was so perfect. I'm like, well, it wasn't. But it got me thinking. And like, that's kind of what started this idea for creating this masterclass, creating content that sells, because you don't have to have it perfect. You don't have to have like a whole production team. You don't have to have like a multi-$1,000 camera in order to create content that's going to, convert to leads. And if you're telling yourself that story, you're lying to yourself. And that's probably part of the reason why you're still stuck, not making sales. However, there are a few things I think you do need if you are going to create content that sells. And some of these things are free. Some of them, none of them cost a lot, but they, I think that there are some things you should have. So what I wanted to share with you were 3 things that I think everybody should have if you are a business owner and you're using the internet to sell for your business. Number 1, I think you need to have a clear brand. I say this all the time, and I think it's the most underrated piece of advice I give. And that is, you have to build your own brand. So whatever businesses you have, those are extensions of your brand. So when I go to your social media, maybe it's your YouTube, maybe it's your Instagram, maybe it's your TikTok, I need to know pretty quickly who you are and what you stand for. And I need to know like the vibe of you. That's your brand. And because people aren't going to buy from someone they don't trust, and they're not going to buy from brands that they don't know, right? You think about the brands that you shop from. You're not just going and randomly purchasing like multi-$100 products from people that you don't trust. And so the first thing you need to do, and this literally costs nothing, is build your brand. And that is be personable. That's show up consistently. That's show your face. Don't just post carousels of text. Like, unless that's your brand, like unless your whole account is a meme account, fine. But if you're an entrepreneur who is selling courses, or you're selling product, or you're selling a business opportunity, whatever it is, you got to build your brand first. And you do that by showing up, by being yourself, by sharing your story, by being open and vulnerable. And I'm not saying you got to share every single skeleton in your closet, but you do have to show up and you have to be you. Like the number one thing people tell me when they meet me in real life versus my Instagram is, oh my gosh, you're not any different than your Instagram. And I'm like, duh. And the fact that people assume that everybody's going to be so different in real life versus online. I have the business I have, and I make the money I make because there is no difference between me online and me in real life. Like, I show up the same regardless of where I am, and I have boundaries, and I honor those boundaries, whether it be on the internet or in real life. But what you see is what you get. And I've spent the last 10 years building that brand. And if, like, I don't think it needs to take you 10 years. I think I crawled so you can run. And that's why I'm creating a program right now called From Zero to Launch, which is basically going to take you through everything I've done to launch a business. And if you want on the wait list for that, you can come find me on Instagram, Danielle_on_the_daily, and I can send you the link to get on the wait list for that. It's going to be it's going to be my next signature program. And it's going to be amazing, but you got to build a brand. Number one. Number two, you need a ring light. I cannot tell you how many people I see going live, or they're posting content, or they're doing videos, and the quality of the video is absolute shit. It's dark, it's grainy, it shakes. Like, a ring light costs $70. A good one costs $70 on Amazon. Literally go online, buy yourself a ring light. If you don't even need to buy the $70 one, you could buy the $20 one that sits on your desk, like, that you can carry with you. I don't care. Buy the little light. If it's not a ring light, buy the little pocket light that, like, connects to your phone and then, like, can give you lighting, like that, along with ring light, is like, focus, like, pay attention to the quality of your videos. Like, if you're shooting on an iPhone, make sure that when you're shooting video on an iPhone, it's set to 4K. Like set the settings higher. Make sure you have good lighting. Make sure that, if it's a video where you're talking about your programs, like, you don't have a kid screaming in the background, or if you do have a kid screaming in the background, make it part of the experience. Don't just ignore it and then, like, let it be a thing. Get a ring light. It's so simple. If you do not have a ring light, here is your sign to go online right now and buy a ring light. And I don't have any affiliate links for you. I probably should have an Amazon link, but I've never set that up. So whatever. But get a ring light. Get a ring light and see how the quality of your videos changes. And last, the app that I use to edit my videos and edit my content, I either use Insta Stories for all of my stories, or I use InShot for my reels. So if you look at the Reckoning video, I shot that on my iPhone. We shot it in 4K on my iPhone, and then we played with it we played with the editing a little bit and brightened it, which I can tell you about the editing app that I use for photos, but then I went into InShot and I edited the video, and that's how I added it black and white. That's how I added the glitch effect. That's how I added everything. And so, if there's any app that I recommend a lot for editing quality content, it's InShot. InShot. Get it, use it, love it. It's super cheap if you pay for the pro version. I think there's a free version as well. I'm not sure how much it allows you to do in the free version, but the paid version is so cheap, and you write it off. If you're a business owner, you write it off. And these are just like things that I think you do need. It doesn't have to be some expensive camera. It doesn't have to be some expensive production. You don't have to pay to get it edited. Just spend some time, learn how to use these apps like InShot, and shoot it yourself with a ring light and let it match your brand, right? Like, let it speak to what your brand is. And then I guess a bonus one, another app that I use is Lightroom. I edit all my photos on Lightroom, and I've actually created my own presets on Lightroom so I can use those to, for photos. If you take a low quality photo on an iPhone, like it's too dark or it's too warm, or you were like in the sunset and the light was glaring in your eyes, you can literally take a photo into Lightroom and you can like lower you can change the color, you can change the temperature, and you can fix that photo. I don't really recommend editing on the iPhone editing tools like in the photo app, but Lightroom is awesome. Again, it has a free version. I pay for the pro version, and it doesn't cost me that much, and it's so worth it because then everything I post, the quality is high, and it helps me create content that ultimately is going to convert into sales. And that's just part of my brand value. My brand value is to put out content that sells. So I hope this is helpful. These are these are very simple things, 4 very simple things that you can do today to improve the quality of your content, which will help you get your content to sell. You know, if you're putting out like branding videos and the video is like dark and like your house like behind you is a mess, unless it's like a program all about how to be like a messy, successful parent, like that's fine, but it still should have good quality. It should still have these elements. Like it doesn't have to be professionally shot in order for it to look professional. And you just have to like use some of these tools I'm giving you to hack and improve your content. Because if you're going to charge hundreds of dollars for a program and then you're not putting any money into editing your content in a way that's going to convert to sales, then you can't be surprised when nobody buys your program or buys your products, right? Like you have to show that you care so that your audience can care about it as well. I hope this is helpful. If you have any questions, you know, my DMs are always open, Danielle_on_the_daily. You can also email my team with any questions, hey@daniellemccleary.com. If you have any questions about any of my signature programs, any masterclasses that I have coming out, as well as my mastermind is enrolling. It's called Scale to 6. And this is, if you have a business that you're trying to scale to 6 figures and beyond, this is the program for you. I actually have a retreat launching soon inside of my mastermind. It's a virtual retreat for everybody in my mastermind, which we're going to go over so many strategies in business. We're going to go over networking. We're going to go over sales. We're going to go over lead generation. We're going to go over, you know, sales pitches and sales calls. If that's something that you do, we're going to go over all of it. And if you're part of my mastermind, you get automatic free access to that. So if you are interested in being part of a mastermind, a group of people that hold each other accountable, you have other people in there that are doing what you're doing. They're having the conversations you want to be having. So you're getting support from not just me, but from so many other people. And by being a part of my mastermind, you also get automatic access to all of my programs. So it's kind of a no-brainer, especially if you're trying to scale your business. Any questions about any of this, my DMs are open. My team is always available. And if you're interested in any of the master classes or the society that I spoke about earlier, the link to purchase those and register for those are in my show notes. So I hope you have a good day and we'll talk to you soon. Love ya.